Revelation 27. When the 1,000 years are over, Satan will be released from his prison.
The word fatwa actually just means a religious ruling by a Muslim cleric, but in the West it has come to specifically refer to the handing down of a death sentence for blasphemy. The most famous fatwa was dealt out by Iran's late leader Ayatollah Khomeini against author Salman Rushdie for the satanic verses, which reputedly insulted the Muslim prophet Muhammad. But this is only the most famous case. Fatwas are issued quite regularly. So much so that the issuing of unauthorised fatwas has become a real problem in some parts of the Muslim world, with renegade clerics handing them out willy-nilly. Malevolent fatwas became such a problem in Bangladesh that in 2001 its Supreme Court outlawed the issuing of unauthorised fatwas. But surprisingly, if you really want some fatwa action, you can't go past the United Kingdom, where a guy named Sheikh Omar Bakri has set up the UK Sharia court, appointing himself senior judge. The head of UK's leading Islamic body, the Muslim Council of Britain, has campaigned heavily against Bakri, saying he brings Islam into disrepute with his fatwa-friendly ways. And boy, is he fatwa-friendly. Bakri's placed fatwas on playwright Terence McNally, Prime Minister Tony Blair, former Prime Minister John Major, Pakistani President Pervez Musharraf, every member of the gay Muslim group Al Fatiha, every Muslim in the UK police force, and to top it all off, when the Iranian government finally removed the fatwa on author Salman Rushdie, Bakri reinstated it. Basically, this guy doesn't seem too fussy when it comes to handing out fatwas. But was it really that easy to get one? I thought I'd go to England to conduct an experiment. How difficult is it to get the senior judge of the UK Sharia court to place a fatwa on someone? As we know, every fatwa needs a fatwa-e. But who should I choose? I couldn't think of anyone. Then I remembered this thing that's been bugging me for a while, involving popular Channel 10 presenter Rove McManus. Let me give you the background. Back in the mid-90s, Rove was a virtual unknown, doing it tough as the host of the community television show The Loft on Channel 31, filmed in a rat-infested basement at RMIT University.
Oh, all right, knock it off. Welcome to The Loft. How you doing? My name is Rove, so good to see you.
Like Rove, my past was also firmly rooted in Melbourne's community television and radio scene. But then in 1997, I unexpectedly shot to superstardom of David Cassidy and Beatlemania proportions on ABC's Race Around the World. I had arrived. Whilst back at Channel 31, Rove was still in the basement trying to fight off the rats. It was around this time that one of Rove's little friends rang and asked in a shaky voice to speak to Mr. Safran. She wanted to know if I'd appear on Rove's community television show, The Loft. Even though I was risking black plague from the Channel 31 rats, I said yes.
Will you please welcome the very tardy John Safran? Now, you were voted most popular. Where do you go from here?
Oh, I don't know, as I say, novelty rap, single, drug addiction, and then fall into oblivion. After the taping, he smiled and shook my hand and thanked me for supporting the little guy. I wished him all the best for the future. And he replied, listen, thanks for coming down. I know it's just community television, but you know, if I ever can do anything for you, ever, just ask. With that, I signed his copy of my novelty CD single, Not the Sunscreen Song, and left. Cut to 5 years later. And boy, had the worm turned. Rove was the Gold Logie reigning king of nighttime television, and I was down on my luck. Booted out of the ABC after getting in a scuffle with current affairs host Ray Martin. But it wasn't hopeless. I was about to release my new show, John Safran's Music Jamboree. With a bit of luck, it would be my big comeback. I was on the publicity trail. The SBS publicist had tentatively booked me on Rove's show. I felt good, remembering Rove's words all those years ago.
If there's ever anything I can do for you, just ask.
Then at the 11th hour, the SBS publicist rang to tell me something. I'd been bumped from Rove's show. By Pink! Now I know it seems a bit dramatic to try to get a fatwa placed on someone just because they've bumped you from their show, but I'm fairly petty. And even though it kind of bugged me when smarmy bohemians lay into Rove for not being alternative enough, when in actuality he spent years slogging it out of community television, I couldn't get past the fact I was bumped for pink. Besides, I needed a subject for my experiment. How difficult is it to get the senior judge of the UK Sharia court to place a fatwa on someone? I had to track down the senior judge. First stop, the London Mosque, where they had banned him and his Sharia court colleagues.
They speak a load of rubbish, and it's not even from the Quran. It's clearly opposing the Quran, but people don't listen to what, don't analyse what's being said.
Obviously they're Muslims, yes. Their actions is not according to Islamic teachings.
While no one knew where Senior Judge Bakri was, people said I might get through to him via his colleague, Sheikh Abu Hamza, a radical cleric who's been in the papers recently because the US government want him extradited. Armed with my falsified evidence against Rove McManus, I organised a meeting.
His name's Rove McManus, and he's been quite blasphemous and offensive.
I know some people in Australia were saying he definitely deserves to be punished. I was saying he deserves a fatwa, but they were saying because it's Australia, maybe something just like a public flogging. Is that available?
It depends what he says. I'm not really aware of fully what kind of statements he said.
That's the book he's planning to release, Satanic Verses to Muhammad the Prophet, What the? By Craig Melville.
I think that he's satanic, he's an infidel, he's an icon for anti-Christ.
Rove's an icon for the Antichrist.
He's an icon for an Antichrist.
So what do you think would happen to Rove in Australia? What do you think is going to happen?
Not to this person.
Yeah.
He's too insignificant to have a fatwa on him.
Isn't that always the way? You're a big shot in Australia, but come to London and suddenly you're too insignificant for a fatwa. Nevertheless, now I was connected, and Hamza told me where I could find Senior Judge Bakri. By the way, my crack legal team wants me to emphasise that, of course, Rove McManus never actually wrote a book called Satanic Verses 2, and material attributed to Rove in this story was created by me and a colour photocopy machine. Anyway, I headed on to meet the senior judge of the UK Sharia court, Sheikh Omar Bakri.
Hello, I'm John. Very, very honoured to meet you. There's a gentleman in Australia who's very blasphemous.
Oh yeah, I heard about him.
We'd like to get a fatwa because he's...
We need to hear what he said.
Well, I'll bring you the evidence. I'm just, yeah. So his name's Rove McManus, and he's, I don't know how best to describe him, but he's not very pleasant. And this is the book he's planning to release, which is Satanic Verses 2, Muhammad the Prophet, What the? He does offensive things such as this, dressing up in a burqa and showing his underpants. That's him spray painting the side of a mosque.
Rove Life, Tuesday 9:30, Channel 10, is cheapest way to advertise.
He's put out these badges. Rove says, don't be a jerker.
Take off your burqa. Here, Ramadan, who gives a damn? The same here, don't pay zakat, you dirty rat. Look who's speaking.
This is an ad he proposed to do for the Australian Pork Institute.
Forget halal, get some pork off your fork.
This one I don't quite understand. He's just got, say hi to Muhammad for me.
Obviously, he wants himself to mock Islam. Here as well, he make himself fool. He show his underwear. His underwear say yellow. So this is, you guess the color. He deserves capital punishment. Unless he repents.
They show me, you see, from Australian television, some clips from somebody, I don't know his name, Rove himself, somebody want to make himself funny, and he said, Ramadan, who give damn? Eat itself what? He said, don't eat the halal, eat itself what? Eat pork, something like this. And he wear like what woman, wear burqa. And he said to me, this man deserves fatwa. What he said is offensive. The clothes he saw his underwear. I saw the whole pictures. He done, dare you, Rove or Dove, whatever you call yourself. Huh? Rove. So this is my message to Rove. You will have only one punishment. That's called the big fatwa.
Wow, a big fatwa, not just a regular one. So I did get an answer to my question. How difficult is it to get the senior judge of the UK Sharia court to place a fatwa on someone? Apparently, not difficult at all.